Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Patri, and in today's video I'm going to talk about all the books that I've read so far this year. I'm going to do a mid-year wrap-up. These are all the physical books that I've read this year, but I'm going to try and put them somewhere else because they're too heavy. First, I'm going to open my laptop and show you my little wrap-up. I'm going to post the screenshots of the Canva over here so you can see the same thing I'm seeing. First, I'm going to talk about the genres. I'm a heavy romance reader. I try to diversify and try other genres, but I always come back to romance. Or for example, I do like fantasy, but I like reading fantasy in little bits. I don't know if I'm explaining myself correctly, but my favorite genre is romance. So from the 78 books that I've read this year, I've read 62 romances, 11 fantasies, 4 mystery thrillers, 1 sci-fi. I'm not really sure if it's really sci-fi, but I'm counting it as sci-fi. And that's all the genres I've read this year so far. Then I'm going to talk about the page number. I don't know if I can really say the number of pages I've read in total this year, but I can just put it on the screen because I calculate every month the number of pages I read, so I can just do the calculation of the ones that I've read in June so far and put it up over here. So this is the number of pages I've read in total this year. I usually read books between 300 and 499 pages, so I've only read 4 books under 300 pages, 61 books between 300 and 499, and 13 books that are over 500 pages. Well, 500 or over 500 pages. Then I'm going to talk about my monthly wrap-up, like the number of books I've read every month. So in January I read 11, February 13, March 14, April 15, May 14, and June so far 11. We have 8 days left. I tried to put all this information inside Storygraph to see if it could give me my average rating, but it didn't work properly, so I'm just going to talk about my lowest rating this year and my 5-star read. Okay, so my lowest rating this year was for Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. It was my first book of her and I give it a 2 stars. I didn't like it. I wasn't liking the characters, I wasn't invested in their story, I wasn't invested in anything on the book. I just wanted to finish it already because I hate the anything books. And lots of people were saying they liked it, and the book looked really cute, so I was like, I'm going to try and like push through to see if the ending is like worth it. It wasn't. And sorry if you like it, it's just my personal opinion. Then I'm going to talk about my 5-star reads from this year. So I have some books that are part of series that maybe the other books from the series are also 5 stars, but I didn't read them this year. So my 5-star reads are A Court of Thorns or Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, A Court of Silver Flames, Daisy Hates, Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home, Daisy Hates The Great Undoing, Say You Swear, Final Offer, Things We Never Got Over, Heartless, Bad Reputation, Lotus, and Part of Your World. I don't have the physical copies of all these books, but I do have some of them, so I'll just show the books later and say a yes or no if I recommend it. And then what I am planning on reading the second half of the year. There's some new releases that aren't out yet that I'm really excited for. The first one is Love Redesigned, that I think is a Lorna Shore book, and I think it has something to do with the last book in the Dreamland Billionaire series, but I'm not really certain about that. Then we have Things We Hide from the Light. Things We Left Behind, that is part of the Chestnut Springs of the Knock 'Em Out series. I do have the first 2 books and I loved them, so I'm really excited because I really want to read this one specifically for the main characters because I'm really interested in their story. And then we have Sablepeak, I'm not really sure how you pronounce it, but it's the one, two, three, four, the 6th book in the Eden series. I'm really excited. I'm right now reading Crimson River, and I love all of these books. And then some other books that I do have on my TBR, but I haven't read yet, are Fourth Wing. I do have it on my TBR, but I haven't bought it yet and haven't placed the same. I'm going to Scotland this summer in August, so I'm going to buy them there because in Amazon they're pretty expensive, like 24 euros or something like that. And all my packages from Amazon come damaged always, so I'm not going to spend 24 euros on a book if it's going to come damaged. And then we have Midnight Sun, that is the book from the Twilight saga, but from Edward Cullen's point of view. I do have the book, but I didn't have time to read it when it was cold, so I'm waiting until it's cold again because I need the vibes. And then the last book I have on this little my TBR that I really want to read this year. I obviously have way more books that I want to read, but this one is one that's been in my TBR for way too long, and I really do want to read it this year before it ends, is Binding the 13, well, the Boys of Tomlin series. I really want to get into it, but my expectations are so high that I'm really, really nervous. Okay, now I'm just going to move this out of the way. I'm going to start showing books and saying yes or no. I'm going to show them by series. Yes, yes, my favorite. Yes, but I could have lived without them. Just funny quick reads. Yes, I really did enjoy these two books. Absolutely 100% yes. Yes, my favorite book of all time. Another yes. Absolutely yes. I hope there are more books coming up from this series. Yes. Yes and yes. Yes. We have the 4 books from the Dirty Earth series. And it's a yes for me. Oh, absolutely yes. I do have the first book, but I didn't read it this year, that's why it's not here, but all of them 5 stars. Okay, I think that's everything. It's just a mid-year wrap-up, so I'll do a more in-depth video about all these books when the year finishes and I've read more books. I really hope you liked it. If you want to see more updates about what I'm reading in real time, you can follow me on my Instagram. I'll leave it down here, and I'll see you next time. Bye!